Alright, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I've got for you guys today, the competitor list for this weekend's Vancouver Pro Show, was just posted today, and I think it was surprisingly short. With only 6 total competitors in the men's open bodybuilding portion of the show, including Prince Bobang, Iron Gali, Stanimal Standalongu, Morgan McDonald, Hassan Mustafa, and Nate Spear. So prior to this list coming out, the only 2 guys that I knew were doing it were Stan and Hassan, and I guess that's why, because this is a surprisingly short competitor list. So maybe all things considered, at least for Hassan, that's a good thing, because maybe this means Hassan will finally pick up a win this season. He said that this is going to be his 3rd and final show of the season. I still don't know if that means if he wins the show, that he's not going to go on to do the Olympia. But the past 2 shows, 2 very close second-place finishes, pretty disappointing. This might be a chance for some redemption here, but Stan did take 3rd in Orlando right behind Hassan, and he was much sharper than Hassan despite being a lot less muscular, I guess you could say. So it's not necessarily going to be a slam dunk for Hassan here. I also like Nate Spear a lot. I like his physique. But overall, I think still a little bit disappointing that it's such a small lineup, and I hope maybe over the next week or so we see some people jump in here. Now, next up in the news, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. So I touched on this briefly yesterday in a short video that I did, but GoodVito, Vitaly Ugonikov, the Russian bodybuilding phenom, did a guest posing yesterday at a muscle contest show in Brazil. And this guest posing did not go well for GoodVito. The primary reason being that during the guest posing, he decided to jump off stage where he's weighing nearly 300 pounds. And when he landed, he thinks that he possibly tore his patella tendon. He said immediately upon landing and walking away from the stage, he felt immediate, intense pain, and he actually had to leave in a wheelchair. So we still don't currently know the actual extent of this injury, but obviously this comes just 9 weeks out from him making his pro debut, much anticipated pro debut that much of the bodybuilding community has been excited for and talking about. This guy as a potential top fast rising young star in the IFBB, but this could have been a career halting injury. Not career ending, but career halting. Because this could be something bad enough that really impacts his look at his pro debut, especially just one leg being affected. It could really throw off his symmetry. It could really throw off his balance. It could throw off his leg training, his lower body training in general leading up to that show. This could really be something that makes him miss his pro debut and have to postpone it. So I think this just goes to show how fleeting a career in bodybuilding really is and how one injury could end everything, and just how careful these guys really need to be. And obviously, I think it was pretty dumb for him to jump off stage like that, and these guys, I think, need to be a little bit more cognizant of that reality, that one injury could really bring things to a screeching halt. Now, in addition to this potential leg injury, potential knee issue, something else really stood out to me during his guest posing before he actually fell and before he got injured, and that was his midsection. I think a lot of you guys are probably watching this video right now and you're noticing the exact same thing that I'm noticing. I think he's got a hernia. Specifically, I think he's got an umbilical hernia, similar to what Phil Heath had. His lower ab area and the area around his belly button is kind of protruding a little bit. It looks a little bit misshapen in that area, but his belly button specifically is really protruding pretty far, which is typically a pretty common sign of an umbilical hernia. Now, he's always had a belly button that was an outie like that, but in previous appearances on stage, it was never sticking out to that extent. It never looked like it looks here. And granted, you can have kind of the caveat that he's obviously not in contest shape yet. He's still technically 9 weeks out from his pro debut. So in the video where he's actually on stage and it's not sticking out as far, he has a lot less subcutaneous fluid or whatever could make it look worse. But I think looking at his midsection in this guest posing, I think there's a very real possibility that he might be going into his pro debut with not 1, but potentially 2 pretty serious injuries. If he does have an umbilical hernia, I think it is, it at least appears to be in this video, throwing off his overall look, throwing off his midsection. It's very distracting. And I think another interesting part about this is never something that was visible in really any of the physique updates that he's posted leading up to this show, which is interesting to me because for a period of time, GoodVito was accused of photoshopping some pictures. And it does make me wonder because in this first update where he's filmed by somebody else, he's on video and he can't edit it himself. He's got this very apparent seemingly issue with his lower ab area that you literally cannot see in anything he's posted on Instagram in terms of a photo physique update, which I found that to be kind of interesting, which makes me wonder if it is a hernia, if it was a very recent hernia, a very recent injury that is not in the other pictures because he didn't have it yet. Maybe it's something that just happened. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. It's kind of a sad situation all around because I personally was very excited to see GoodVito's pro debut. Then he had those kind of issues with his personal life, those accusations. Now he's got potentially these 2 injuries going into what is supposed to be his pro debut in September, which might not even happen at this point. So you could have all the talent and potential in the world and it could end just like that. Personally, I hope that he's able to, maybe the extent of his injury isn't that bad. Maybe he's able to recover quickly enough to still have a decent pro debut. And hopefully he doesn't have an umbilical hernia. And if he does, he's able to get it fixed. But in any case, I think the GoodVito that we're seeing in this guest posing is not the same GoodVito that we saw in some of these crazy physique updates leading up to this. Now, the final story that I've got for you guys today, Regan Grimes is back. You're currently looking at the most recent physique update that Regan posted. But in addition to this, in a recent YouTube video, Regan announced that he will be competing again this year. It's been a while since we've seen Regan on stage, but apparently he's going to be doing 2 shows, the first being in Italy and the second one being in Spain. And he says that he's currently 10 weeks out, so roughly 2.5 months from stepping on stage. So the Italy show that he's referring to would have to be the Pro League Flex weekend in Milan, Italy, which is September 9th and 10th. And then you have the European Championships just 1 week later in Spain, which is supposed to be also GoodVito's pro debut. So I thought that was a nice tie-in to this story, is if GoodVito is still able to compete, he's still healthy enough, and his physique is still in a place where he's competitive, we could see GoodVito versus Regan Grimes at that European Championships in September, which I think would be a very interesting comparison to see. But I would really prefer to see it with GoodVito in full health at 100% versus Regan Grimes. So my question to you guys in the comments below, how do you think Regan Grimes is going to do? It's been a while since we've seen him. Do you think he'll be able to qualify for the Olympia? And if so, will he be a factor? And if he goes head-to-head with GoodVito, who do you think is going to come out on top in that battle? Let me know in the comments down below. That's going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. I hope you did, in fact, enjoy it. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell notification icon if you have not already. And as always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at Nick Strength Power. My Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power. My secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.